Intensity level will be off the charts.
Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
And when you think of Drew Brees, you think of production, and you think of competitiveness. That guy competes on every snap, whether he's throwing it, moving around in the pocket, calling plays, you name it, he knows how to rally a team.
Now Brees. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And we peek at the defense now for Philadelphia.
Malcolm Jenkins entered the NFL as a cornerback and has transitioned to safety, but still retains his good coverage skills.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, it's Brees. And this is Cook with a grab. Oh, and now he bowls him over. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Brees. Caught on the left side by Ginn. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That's some nifty running there. Ultimately, it doesn't get him a whole lot, but it does take him to the 45. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Brees to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now Brees. Well, this is caught by Ginn. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Off to Thomas on the left side. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to lead to a third down. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. Give them a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brandon Graham. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Now here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end Cook. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. Defensively, they better figure something out. Opening drive, he already has 4 catches.
And if you have to figure out how to stop him defensively, that usually means you weaken your defense. That means that now the offense is doing the dictating, and they should have other things.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Will Lutz on for the field goal. A 44-yard attempt.
And Lutz puts this one through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit. So every point is precious.
Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
He didn't have as many throws or plays in college as many of the quarterbacks that were coming out in the draft, but he maximized what he had. Ended up winning 2 national championships as a starting quarterback at North Dakota State.
They fake the give. Now Wentz keeps himself upright, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Cameron Jordan able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do. We're talking about Jason Kelce now, not Travis, his brother, who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
From just shy of midfield, Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Now Wentz. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop. But when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their leg. Doesn't look like they're putting anything extra even when they're kicking it for 60-plus.
Now Breeze finding Kamara. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got our back. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Breeze. Rashard Matthews here on the catch. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 8 more yards this time coming off back-to-back first down pickups.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. They showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Breeze now. His pass caught with the 4. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker. Sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Will Lutz on for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it's a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they can hold him.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. From the gun, it's Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Jordan tracks him down away in the backfield for a loss of 16. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. He will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On second down, it's Allen. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down. Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the...
Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They'll start on the ground with McCoy. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there that sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss.
40. There we go. 280. Check three.
This man was a Saint for 3 years. It's Darren Sproles. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Malik Jackson there to make the stop.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep is Darren Sproles. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Out of the shotgun, it's McCoy.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
To throw, it's Wentz. He finds McCoy. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Well, so far, just the single catch. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Brees will try again on 2nd down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing just outside his own goal line. Now Sproles. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here, losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling. To throw again on second down. Wentz. And he's taken down here by the Saints. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Throwing is Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here now, a look at Drew Brees in our player spotlight. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins, we talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. Back to the air on second down. It's Brees. Catch here, left side, Thomas. The Saints on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Brees. And he finds Cook. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Throwing on 1st down is Brees. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Brees, and this is hauled in by Matthews. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's the first of 2 games here on this wildcard Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's NFC wildcard game. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's action. Meanwhile, in our game, it took a little while to get settled in, but we were in for a battle royale in this second half. And to call the action, let's go back to the guys who've been there all year, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that first down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workmanlike.
I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this game.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. Everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
So after the run by McCoy, here's another 1st and 10.
We want it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Demario Davis there on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Showed the nice footwork and then hit and dropped shy of the 45. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now Breeze on 3rd down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, it's McCoy. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
They got 29 yards that time.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Fair to say it hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Wentz. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
You used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz, only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Wentz to throw, and this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Fletcher Cox, what a play by him. That's a loss of 17.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Here's Breeze to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up fourth.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. On the NFL scoreboard, third quarter now from Jacksonville. And that one's gone back and forth, and it's the Jags that have scored to take the lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Wentz now to throw, and that will be incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you, with your IQ, you can pull that off. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe. Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So While it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we were talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Wentz going to throw. This complete left side to Aguilar.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Shotgun now for Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt. And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with. Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down.
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45.
Well, you're trailing. It's the fourth quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Thomas. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Fletcher Cox getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. They'll try and run for it with McCoy. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? Because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so I'm a big advocate.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, 28 yards. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Elliott good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So that drive spanned 5 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And right now they're just looking for a little more cushion, trying to make this a 2-score game. Points here would go a long way, obviously, to propelling them into the next round.
And this is where the head coach, offensive coordinator, they've had to set a tone all year long about what they do on offense. So most teams want to stay in attack mode, but you have to do it with some bit of caution, don't you? Because you can't come away with no points. You need these points here in order to feel a lot better about where they are in this game.
But this time of the year, playoffs, game of this magnitude, this is what we hope for.
Yeah, it's exactly what we hope for. You want to run your offense cautiously, but not so cautiously that you just give it up.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. 10th carry of the game now. Murray. Latavius Murray. 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Latavius Murray. 58 yards. And the Saints add on to their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead,
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because
Deshaun Jackson off to the races. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, 76 yards. And the Eagles are back within a score. So that's a really big play here in the fourth quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just one score. Elliott Good with a PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. This game is really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's see what you got.
Now they'll throw with Breeze. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
From the gun on third down, Breeze. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Carson Wentz in the offense. Down by 5. 2 minutes, 17 seconds to go. It's got to be a touchdown here, and that won't be easy. On the road, in the playoffs, as they've got it with a 1st down. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Now Wentz, right side caught by Jackson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. He'll look to throw. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
That gets him the first.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Back to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on fourth down. Wentz to throw for it on fourth. And this is caught by Jackson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He's back to throw. They keep the game alive at least. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They'll look to throw.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Back to throw. And he connects with Ertz. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And losing in this wild card round, you know, they've got something to build on, though, for next year. But I don't know if they want to hear that right now.
Maybe not at the moment, but once they get away from it a little bit and they get to their off-season program, they'll start to talk about that. And I like how you framed it, building blocks, you know, building this program up. And one of my favorite coaches always talks about brick by brick, you build a program. And this is one of those bricks to build them towards the next season where they think they have a chance to advance farther in the playoffs.
So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.